What? Is that enough attitude? I don't know, because this is the first time I've ever been grunge. Hey gorgeous, Sabrina here. If you're not familiar with my historically accurate makeup video series here, what I like to do is go back to the time period, research how they did their makeup, and recreate it for you here. And all of the facts have been verified, are authentic, so if you're looking for an authentically accurate makeup tutorial based on a time period, then these are a great video series for you. So based on the last video, which was the 1980s, I asked in that video what time period you wanted me to go back to, and a majority of you had a resounding request for 90s grunge. So we're going grunge, baby. The grunge icons of the 90s that made this look really cool and popular included names like Courtney Love, Gwen Stefani, and Drew Barrymore. Now the media thought that this look condoned drug use, even though not everyone who fancied the grunge look was a drug user. Some of them had never touched a drug a day in their life, they just liked the look. But the media still associated it with the drug scene of the early 90s, and particularly because there were celebrities sporting this look that were heavily into drugs at the time, including Kate Moss. So knowing all of that, let me share with you how to recreate the popular grunge look of the early 90s.
Starting the look off with a primer, as we love to do. This is the NARS primer. And the first step in this grungy look is taking a black eyeliner pencil. This one is from Rimmel ScandalEyes, and applying this onto the lash line. This does not need to be a perfectly straight line because we will be smudging it out later. Eyeliners were very popular for the grunge look, and they were most notably found in black, gray, or brown. They were applied very heavily to the upper and lower lash lines and really smudged out. So that's the effect we're going to create today. And I'm using a smudging brush here to do just that. And for the lower lash line, we're going to start by applying small dots along the lower lash line. And then we're going to smudge those dots together. And this creates a smoky line without it being too much. Because if you just applied a ton of eyeliner to your lower lash line there and you smudged it out, then it would be way too thick and heavy. So that is the look you should have after smudging the eyeliner out. And then we're going to take a medium brown matte shade. This is Naked from the Naked palette, and we're applying this into the crease with a fluffy brush. Eyeshadows in the grunge look follow the same color as the eyeliners mentioned before. Blacks, grays, and browns. And they were all matte finishes. No shimmery eyeshadows whatsoever in a grunge look. You want to keep everything flat and matte. Then we're taking MAC's Mystery and applying this very heavily onto the lid, right over where we applied the black eyeliner and smudged it out. And you can already see that by layering those two, it creates an even darker, smokier effect. Then I'm going to go back with the same crease brush used before and blend in between the lid color and the crease color to make sure there are no harsh edges there. Blend, 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 especially when you're doing a smoky eye. Blending is very important. I'm also taking Mystery and smudging it into the lower lash line over where we applied the smudged black eyeliner. And this just adds to the smoky effect of the grunge makeup, making the eyes pop even more. And for blending, I'm taking MAC's Blanc Type and using this to blend out the harsher edges of our crease color there. Now, if you're not of my coloring, then you may need to adjust the eyeshadows based on your unique coloring. For example, Kid may actually be a blending shade for you, so you'd want to go one step darker for your crease color, using something like Buck in its place. Then we're going to curl the eyelashes, very important step for a grunge look. And don't be afraid to heat up the eyelash curler with a blow dryer to help enhance and hold the curl. For this look, you really want to pile on the mascara. So I'm starting out here with a waterproof mascara, and then I'm layering another one over this. I couldn't find anything that talked about the brows in the 90s, but from what I remember, they were plucked very thin. But I couldn't verify that in anything that I found. So I'm just filling them in like normal, and I'm using my Laura Mercier Brow Defining Gel in Fair. The first foundation shade I'm using is LT2 from the Mehron Celebre Pro palette, and you have already probably noticed that this shade is a lot lighter than my actual skin tone, but this was done in grunge looks. The skin was very pale and a lot of emphasis was placed on being pale, so much so that sometimes they would go one shade lighter than the regular foundation color. And the reason for doing this, if you've watched other historically accurate videos that I've done, was to make the eyes more prominent. This seems to be a recurring theme in a lot of the makeup trends that you see over the decades. And using that lighter shade definitely does make the eyes pop. But ultimately, it was just a little bit way too light for me. So I'm adding some color back into my face by layering it with shade number ME1. And blending over that lighter shade. So you do have the lighter shade there as a base, but I'm adding some color back in with a foundation that matches my skin tone a little bit better. That way I don't look too ghostly. Even though I'm questioning at this point my motives for doing that effect, because it's really stark contrast there between the face and the eyes. And we're gonna load up on the powder. Lots of translucent powder. Pack it on because the face was kept extremely matte. You don't want any shine whatsoever, especially for this type of look. Now there are 3 different options you can choose for lipstick colors in a grunge look. You can go with a dark red like I'm wearing here with MAC's Brick Au La. You can go with a bright red like I'm wearing here. This is Milani's Cherry Crave. Or you can go with a nude lip, which is what I'm choosing to go with in this look. And this is using MAC's Creme de Nude. Now, I normally wouldn't wear this shade all by itself because it makes me look corpsey, but it's okay for this kind of look because you do want that corpse-like effect for a nude lip. So if there's a lipstick that makes you look like that, it's perfect for a grunge makeup look. And just like the face, the lips were kept very matte too. So if the lipstick is not already matte, you can take some translucent powder and apply it over the top. Apply a couple layers to get that really mattified look. To sum up the grunge look, it really focused on long sleepless nights, as if you'd gone to bed with your makeup on and you wore it again the next day without washing it off. So you want that slept in, messy, smoky kind of look.
I hope you enjoyed going back to the grunge era with me today, and let me know which time period you want to travel to next. Do you want to go to the 30s? Do you want to go to the 50s? Do you want to go to the 70s? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
Are you looking for new ways to wear your eyeshadows? Discover the only website online with pictures of combinations using the eyeshadows featured in today's look and so many more. Head on over to myeyeshadowconsultant.com and get inspired today.